Alrighto, well, welcome to a new video today on Cognitive Budo. If you like what we talk about, if you like some of the stuff and you're interested, please subscribe and we're going to try and make some more content. Today, I want to talk about not so much technical things, but just some career related stuff. So, with my background coming from a trade background, non-technical, working in office environments and those corporate environments is very new to me. It's a very different style of working, and what we do here on my channel is we look at the technical. We try and dive into some lessons and some stuff, but we also, I think it's important to also remember that there's a big human side in life, and big part of our success, both financially and in our career, is being able to work with people and to be able to be resilient and aware of things that go on around us that could affect our job and could affect our success in whatever it is that we're pursuing. Now, this advice can apply to any job, not just cybersecurity, any tech role, any corporation. These people exist. So let's jump straight in. So, insecure leadership. Okay, now I'm not a psychologist. I don't have any qualifications around that. I don't understand the intricacies in depth. But what I do know is over the years, I have worked with many very insecure bosses and narcissistic type of personalities. Now, we're not going to go too deep into it, but I want to warn you about this particular leadership style, the insecure leader, and how you can deal with it if you come across someone like this in your career. Because if you're watching this type of content, then you're obviously looking to get some opinion, or you're trying to build a new career and you want a little bit of guidance as you go, which is good, and YouTube is awesome for that. Now, the reason why it's important to understand this is because if you are fortunate enough in your job search to land your first role in a company, you're making a move out of a trade or some hospitality or some other industry you're working in, and you're about to move in, you're excited, you've got this new opportunity, and then all of a sudden, you find yourself in a toxic environment, or you find yourself with toxic leadership. This can be very difficult to navigate, and I'm going to give you some tips. So the first thing is being able to identify what a toxic leadership and insecure or narcissistic leadership is. Okay, now this is not a judgment. People all get stressed. We're all imperfect. We all have our moments. Cybersecurity and tech fields specifically can be very stressful. So this is not being hard on anyone. This is just the reality. There is such thing as it being having a bad day and stressed, and then being toxic, and we're going to break that down. So how to identify these type of people? The first way that you can identify someone who's insecure or showing these toxic traits in leadership is micromanagement. I would say micromanagement's one of the big ones. These type of personalities will tend to hone in and focus on things that aren't always that important. They will kind of always single you out for work and things that you do that don't align to their standards and expectations. Now, I'm not talking about when it comes to serious things that have got to be done properly. Okay, that's different. But a good boss, a healthy boss, should give their people some space, some room to operate, and just focus on progress and growth. But you'll notice that the insecure or the narcissistic style of manager, they don't care about your growth. And they don't care about how you feel. For them, it's their ego. It's about letting you know that they're in charge. And they'll also do it in a way that makes sure that everyone else is aware of just what they're doing as well. Because I think this boils down to ego. I think it's insecurity. And there can be a number of reasons for this. Again, I'm not a psychologist. But the best thing you can do is be very switched on and identify if this is starting to happen. If your leader or your boss, if you feel like sweaty and stressed coming into work every day, if you're quivering and shaking, if you're having anxiety attacks because you're not sure how your boss is going to respond to a sentence you wrote or to a message that you sent, this is a very clear indicator that you are working under some toxic management, okay? And this is sad, but unfortunately it's very common that these people thrive in positions of power. because again, their ego, their narcissism is very tied in to the position, and they will feel threatened by people around them who may exhibit qualities or skills, or if people like if you're liked by the company or people within the company, they'll feel very threatened by that. Okay, so other ways you can identify it is you feel a lack of confidence when you leave their presence. So if you're walking away from this type of manager or person and you feel less confident in your ability to do your job, if you feel less confident in yourself, or you're just not feeling great about yourself and your work, that can be a very good indicator that they're gaslighting you, that they're putting you down, that they're diminishing your conscience. Whether it's conscious or subconscious on their part, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that you're coming away from them not feeling good. You should come away from your leadership, your management, feeling ready to go, ready to learn, ready to do your job to the best of your ability. But if you feel like nothing you're doing is adding up, then that's a big problem. And that's going to drive many good people to the door or to find a new job. Okay, so this is very important. These can be career killers. They can burn you out, and they can ruin your trajectory on your way to executing your vision and your goal. And you're always going to have obstacles and people stand in your way no matter what career path you're in. So I guess it boils down to, how do you handle these type of people? Well, I still haven't fully figured that out. I think you can't handle these people head on at all. You've got to be tactical. You've got to have a greater vision, a greater purpose. Always aim towards your goal, what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and have tunnel vision, and if they're really toxic and they're making your life absolutely miserable in your current role, then ultimately the best thing to do is to just, get that resume polished off and get out there and continue to find new opportunities. However, that being said, I feel it's very valuable to be able to have the resilience and the critical thinking ability to be able to adapt to changing circumstances and to be able to handle difficult people. Now, what you should not do, based on my experience, is you should not, firstly, take these people head on, especially if they have a position of power over you. They will use that power against you 110%. Even if they're well known in the company to be a problem, they still have a management position. They will still have that power over you, and they will find other ways to operate within in the bounds of law, or maybe not, but generally to try and find ways to get back at you, whether that be amping up their micromanagement or really, really zoning in on the things that you do and do wrong and try to put that before other managers to get you sacked. So be careful of these type of people. Don't play games with them. The best thing you can do is just, always be respectful, and then go about your work and your business. And like I said, if it gets too much, well then, you've got to weigh up, is it worth it? If you can't avoid this person. I had an experience years ago with a very, very bad micromanager. I was struggling to sleep at night. I was getting aggressive thoughts and stuff. And I knew that the moment that started happening, that I'm like, this is not a good situation for me. This person really targeted me, and it was just over the stupidest, smallest things that were inconsequential, that weren't that important. Look, there's doing a job, doing it right, and then there's just micromanagement. And trust me, you will know the difference when you're being micromanaged. It's a horrible thing. And it's not about compliance and details, really. It's just about the other person's insecurity or trying to assert their dominance over you, right? Which boils down to ego. So be able to identify this. Don't tackle it head on. Do not call these people out around other people. They will think it's okay to do this to you, but if you do it to them, it's going to be a different story. These people come across like they're very thick-skinned and very tough, but the reality is they're fragile deep inside. They're actually quite weak and fragile inside, because they're very hard on themselves, and they're going to take that as an all-out assault and attack on their authority, and they're going to feel like they've been diminished in the eyes of others, and then it's going to be on. They're going to really go for you, and they're going to find ways to do it, whether it be direct or indirect. So this is very important while you're building your technical skills and your abilities. And while this is a cybersecurity channel, you can use this advice for, other areas of your career. But my big thing is that while you're building your skills, also don't forget about your people skills and how to deal with things, because I see very smart guys who haven't rounded out their personality, people skills, who just get dominated in these type of environments, and you see that their confidence is totally eroded. They have no self-esteem, and these people end up sticking around in these companies because they actually end up losing a lot of faith and belief in self that they can do better elsewhere. People get comfortable, and this is just the way it is. So don't be that person. Be strong, and always look for the level up. Always look for the better opportunity. Always look for the learning and the earning, and try to maximize either or both where possible. Don't let any of these type of personalities in leadership get in your way, but if you do the wrong thing, they will make your journey a little bit difficult, especially if you're entry level and that your ticket to the next role might depend upon a company or having that experience in your first job. But nothing at the end of the day is worth the price of your mental well-being and emotional well-being. If something is too much for you, then that's up to you to decide how you're going to handle it. But don't ignore it. It's very important. All right. Thank you very much. Please subscribe, like the channel. I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment below. Tell us about your experience with management and leadership. What's your opinions? How do you deal with these situations? Are you a leader yourself? Look, it rolls both ways. It can be difficult being a manager and a leader, and you've got to be strong, and you do have to, from time to time, assert some dominance in the sense of letting people know that you are the leader, and that at the end of the day, the decisions do fall on you and the accountability falls upon you. But you have to be a leader, and you have to know how to deal with people if you want a successful team. That's what I believe. All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.